finally got my short bed, as you can see in the background there. So the progress has finally started to move along. I actually picked up the short bed for only 500 bucks. Completely rust free, no issues at all. It has a few little dents in it. It came off of a King Ranch truck. So it's got the tan bottom underneath it. But other than that, it's not really too big of an issue. I have plans to take care of that, so I've actually already started. On top of here, I have 2 coats of bed liner, duplicate color bed liner, and then I have 1 coat of Herculiner. I have it all the way around, just on the top of the bed. That's it. Just taped it off. They come with these little plastic covers that go right there, right here, that I took off. I'm not a big fan of these. You know, they just hold water and eventually it's going to rust on top of the bed. So those came off of this bed. Because it was a King Ranch, it also had factory fender flares, which you can see going across there. Took those off, and there's a little bit of a line. I'm hoping I can get that out. And then the other thing I took off on these beds is there's actually inside of here there should be a wheel well cover on both sides. Took both of those out. That's actually how this fender right here can rust. My next step is, which I put down the Purple Power to help degrease the bed here, and then I will hit it with some water, let it dry, and then come back through with a paint stripper, and then finally the rust dissolver stuff, and then spray that off, and then I'll start coating it with the duplicate color bed liner. So here's the products that I'm using right here. The first thing you want to do when you're applying a bed liner is you're going to want to hit it with a degreaser, which I have right here, Purple Power. I mixed that 50-50 with some water and just sprayed the bed real good to get any dirt, grime, and grease off of it. The next thing, I'll actually hit it with a paint stripper just on a drill, just to help scuff up the surface a little bit. And then I'll hit it with this 50-50 with water to help prep the metal for Duplicolor. You know, I've had good experience with Duplicolor. I've used Herculiner as well. I really like their products, so that is what I'm going to be using to coat the bed of my truck. Okay, so I went ahead and washed out the truck bed already after I scuffed it up real good with the sandpaper and whatnot. I sprayed Purple Power on it again and then sprayed it out. And now I'm getting ready to come through with the rust dissolver, the metal prep, if you will. And just going to spray this down. You're supposed to keep it on there for about a half an hour. And you just want to keep it wet and don't want it to dry on the surface here. So I'm going to go ahead and spray this, and hopefully we'll see if it can take care of some of this rust around here. Alright, so I just sprayed off the rust dissolver, and it seemed to have helped pretty good. You can see, the camera will focus a little bit for me, a lot of bare metal, which is kind of what I'm aiming for anyways. That way the paint and bed liner really has a really good surface to cling to. As far as the top corner up here, seemed to be the worst. You can see it was really starting to eat away at it. I left it on for about a half an hour, kept it wet, so I think this is about as far as it's going to get. So I'm going to go ahead and let this dry now and get the bed liner ready. Alright, so this Duplicolor stuff, as you can tell, it's very, very rubbery. As you can see, it's got like little rubber chunks in it. You have to stir it really, really good. They say to shake it before you open the can, but I just stirred it up real good, spent a couple minutes on it, no big deal. Stir it up real good. They say to do 2 coats. After the first coat, what you want to
put on kind of thin. You wait about an hour or wait until it's just barely still tacky, and then you apply a second heavier coat. So obviously you go through and hit the spots with the brush first around the edges, and then finish it up with the roller. So I'm hopefully gonna get the first coat on tonight. Might be out here kind of late tonight, so I can at least get the second coat on too. And then tomorrow, hopefully, I'll get the bed set on there. I also was actually thinking about undercoating it with like POR 15, POR 15. I've heard that stuff's really good. So I was thinking about coating the bed rails and inside or underneath the bed there before I put the bed on. So that'll probably be next too. I'll order some POR and we'll go ahead and do that. So stay tuned, guys, and I'll start getting the first coat in. Okay, so the first coat is on. It's been drying for about an hour. It tacked up pretty nice, so I'm gonna go ahead and start applying the second coat and let that dry, and I'll check in with you guys then. There it is, guys. Second coat is on. It looks pretty good. Pretty fantastic, actually. I really like it. Hopefully it doesn't add too much weight to the truck. Considering I'm going to be trying to do a race truck, but a little added weight in the rear end, isn't going to hurt anything. So I'm going to let this dry, and I'll do a walk around video in the morning when it's completely dry, and yeah, so until then. Alright, it's the next morning. It's all completely dry, and this is the final product. I definitely like it. The next step here is going to be to flip the bed over, and I'm going to actually hit the bottom side of it with POR 15 rust preventer. That way I don't have to really take the bed off ever again and worry about it rusting out or anything. The truck here, I power washed the frame, so a lot of that's already come off because I'm going to POR the frame as well. I did a little bit of research, and this first bolt hole, we actually keep that first bolt hole when we cut the frame, but I think so it's going to be in front of that or behind this hole. And then 16 inches back, and I believe it's right in front of this. So I believe it's from there to about there. This is how much you cut out. But the spare tire piece is out of here. I won't be needing that. So my next video, I've actually already taken, I'm editing it right now. I finally put in a set of Super Duty seats. Driver's side actually has all power and everything, so that's pretty sweet. That video will be coming up next. As soon as the POR 15 comes in, I'm going to flip this bed over and start doing the underside of this, and then we'll get some measurements and start cutting on the frame. If you haven't already, guys, subscribe, like my channel. Any comments too, guys, suggestions, let me know. And until next time, thanks, guys.